Hello everybody, my name is Irina, I'm your host and you're watching Uncovering the Past. Uncovering the Past is a show where I interview adults with different jobs such as actors, musicians, artists, etc. And I'll be asking them questions about their childhood. I will be posting videos once a week. But there is one little twist. There's going to be a contest going on throughout each season. And how the contest is going to work is there is going to be points for each question that people answer. So I'm going to ask a question, and then you get at least 1 point for each question, and there will be a timer. So if the person doesn't answer it within the timer, then they don't get an extra bonus point. And then if their question answer is incredible, then they might get 2 extra bonus points. And don't worry, this contest isn't fair, but I don't know these people, so I can't use favoritism. And there will be a mystery prize at the end of the season for whoever gets the most. The special guest for this week is, drumroll please, Natasha Lowe. If you don't know who Natasha Lowe is, she's an incredible award-winning author. Natasha has written the Poppy Pendle series, which includes The Power of Poppy Pendle, The Marvelous Magic of Miss Mabel, and The Courage of Cat Campbell. Natasha has also written Lucy Castor Finds Her Sparkle, which is another amazing book. Natasha just published a new book in the Poppy Pendle series in August called The Daring of Della Dupree. Overall, Natasha's books are incredible to sit down with on a cold winter day, or even a hot summer day, and read. Trust me, once you pick up one of her books, you won't be able to put it down, until you're done with it. And once you're done, you'll want another. Want to learn more about Natasha? Well, if you do, come with me. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show.
Okay, well, let's get started. So, question 1. What were you most afraid of when you were a kid?
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. I was really scared of being by myself. I wasn't very good at being alone. So I didn't like being alone in the house at night by myself. I was terrified that we'd get burgled. Someone would break into the house or something. So I think fear of being alone when I was little. And I was terrified of spiders. Didn't like spiders at all. That's two things.
I was like,
well, I was scared of ghosts. My grandmother had a spooky old house in Scotland, and if everybody went out for a walk, even if it was the daytime, I would be terrified. And I remember lying in bed at night and just hearing creaks and sounds and thinking that there was a ghost in the house. Actually, at the moment, fun fact, I'm writing a story about ghosts, and it's set in the Highlands of Scotland. And that was the inspiration from all those memories of being in a spooky ghost house growing up.
Yeah. Okay. When you were a kid, what did you think you were going to be when you grew up, or what did you want?
Oh, well, that's an easy one. So there's 2 answers to that, because there were 2 things I really wanted to be. The first one was a fancy tea shop owner, which shouldn't surprise you because you've read all my books. And I loved the idea of having a beautiful sort of patisserie, a lot like Marie Claire's patisserie, actually, with all these beautiful cakes in the window. That was one thing I wanted to be. And then actually, when I was a bit older, the other thing I wanted to be is, believe it or not, an air stewardess, because I wanted to fly all over the world and see different countries. And the funny thing is, I didn't do either of those things, but I sort of did a bit of both, because I traveled from London to America, so I got the travel bit in. And before I was writing stories, I was running a bed and breakfast, and I used to make afternoon teas and fancy breakfasts for all the guests. So I never had a tea shop, but I had a bed and breakfast, and I used to love doing baking for it. So I suppose you could say a little bit of both those things are things I ended up doing. Plus, I always wanted to write stories, and I'm lucky enough to say I was able to do that. So I all those sort of childhood dreams came true in a funny way.
Oh, this one's a good one. What was your biggest pet peeve that you just couldn't handle if it was done or people did it?
What was my biggest pet peeve? Oh, I can tell you that. There was this girl, and I won't tell you her last name just in case she ever sees this, but her first name was Karen. And she always used to start off a sentence saying, "No offense, but," and I knew that whatever she was going to say was going to be terribly offensive. So she'd say, "No offense, but I really don't like your dress," or "No offense, but you've got a spot on your chin." And every time Karen Grimley started out a sentence with "No offense, but," I knew it was going to be really offensive. So that was a real pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, I don't think I would like that.
There's another pet peeve, if I'm allowed to, is in the dining hall when people would eat their lunch with their mouth open and you'd see all their food chomping about inside. Oh, that's exactly. We have the same pet peeve.
Yeah, and also like my brother will just like sit down at the kitchen table eating yogurt, and I'm like, okay, I was gonna eat snack now too, but I think I'm good.
I think I'll pass on that one.
The next question is, well, did you have like a special talent that no one else in your class had?
A special talent? Well, I used to like to think that I was quite good at writing stories. And I don't know if that was a special talent, but it was special enough so that my best friend would do my math homework for me and I would write her stories for her for English class. So we would trade, which I'm not recommending because that was not good, but I loved writing stories even when I was little, and I was a terrible speller and I had terrible handwriting. But I remember writing this story for my friend about a jelly planet and all these jelly animals on it, and it was a great story. And she ended up getting a really good mark for that story, and it was actually my story. So I don't know if it was a special talent, but everyone sort of knew that I was the one that liked writing and making up stories. And I did it for fun. Like some kids don't like writing stories. They find it boring. I loved it. So I would sit in the class at lunchtime and I would just make up my own stories. So I don't know if you'd call that a talent, because I don't think I was very good at it back then, but I loved doing it. So you can trace my love of stories right back then. But I wasn't very musical. I didn't play an instrument. I had 2 left feet, so I couldn't dance. I wasn't a very good baker back then, but I enjoyed baking, but my things never tasted very good. So I didn't really have very many good talents, and I don't know if writing stories counts, but it was certainly a passion. Even if it wasn't a talent, it was a big passion.
No, that definitely counts. Last question. When you were a kid, did you have a celebrity crush? If so, who was it?
Oh gosh, there's a good question. Did I have a celebrity crush? And the clock is ticking. There was a pop group called the Osmonds, and there was a singer called Donny Osmond, and I'm embarrassed to admit, I think I might have had a bit of a crush on him. I was quite young at the time. And then when I was older, I liked lots of different bands and things. Yeah. Bands you probably wouldn't have even heard of. Like there was a band called Duran Duran, and there was who was another singer. I was very fond of David Bowie, but I never had like a huge celebrity crush, actually. No, I didn't really. Just sort of some bands and things, but not a great big crush that I can be like, oh, I had a massive crush on this singer. Do you have a celebrity crush?
Putting me on the spot there. I don't have like a celebrity crush, but like I like watching celebrities on YouTube. Celebrities, or like listening to celebrities' music. I don't know what qualifies as celebrity. Like,
well, now it's a bit different, because when I was young, there were no such things as YouTubes and things, so you couldn't make your own videos. And now you have sort of bloggers and things who are quite famous just for being bloggers, don't you?
Okay, well, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And it was really fun coming on and chatting with you. So thank you so much.
I'd like to say a huge thank you to Natasha for coming on to my show today. I learned so many cool things about her childhood and just childhood in general. If you enjoyed it too, make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe down below. And turn on post notifications so that you don't miss a new amazing interview. See you all next week. Bye!